There comes a moment in life when the silence you have clung to for so long becomes unbearably heavy, a silence that once offered refuge from a chaotic, demanding world now wraps itself around your heart and seeps into your soul. Every breath feels constricted, every thought shrouded in a haze of unspoken truths. Today, I find myself at that very moment. The hidden truths I have carried have grown so immense that my heart trembles under their weight, as if it might shatter into irreparable fragments. In those long, quiet hours of restless nights, when the world outside surrendered to sleep, I was left alone with the sound of my own silence. That silence was not a gentle lullaby meant to soothe me, it was a harsh, unyielding reminder of everything I had kept hidden from you, from myself, and from the life I desperately tried to build. Night after night, I lay awake with a mind engulfed in a storm of regret and self-recrimination. In the darkness, every decision I made replayed before me, each choice scrutinized under the unforgiving light of hindsight. I questioned every step that led me to this painful juncture, realizing that the quiet detachment I once believed protected me had become the prison that now shackles my soul. I have come to understand that the silence I once embraced, a silence I thought would shield me from life's harsh truths, had, over time, transformed into an oppressive force. It stifled my ability to feel, to think, and ultimately to be free. This silence seeped into the spaces between my heartbeat and my breath, coloring every thought with regret and reminding me of the truths I had long denied. In the solitude of those lonely nights, the absence of words was filled with the loud, insistent echoes of guilt and remorse. Every secret I harbored, every lie I told myself to justify my actions, only deepened the chasm between who I was and who I aspired to be. It became painfully clear that the silence I nurtured was not a protective shield but a suffocating weight that robbed me of life's very essence. At last, I reached a crossroads, a point where I was compelled to confront the truth that could no longer be contained. The barriers of silence had to crumble, and the dam holding back a torrent of confessions was destined to give way. This confession is not the result of a fleeting moment of weakness, it is the inevitable outcome of years spent denying a truth as clear as day, yet as painful as the sharpest sting. I can no longer hide behind the quiet veneer of inaction and evasion. The silence that once seemed protective now feels like a heavy chain, binding me to a past marred by betrayal and regret. I must break free from this self-imposed exile and let the truth emerge, regardless of the hurt or consequences it may bring. I am painfully aware that the words I am about to share may shatter the illusion of trust and familiarity you once held dear. I must confess that there is a part of my past, a presence, an intrusion that I have long tried to justify, even though deep down I knew it was a betrayal of everything we had built together. There is someone who entered my life, someone who should never have found a place in the narrative of us. I once convinced myself that her presence was harmless, merely a distraction from the mundane. I deceived myself into thinking that the thrill of novelty could somehow compensate for the quiet destruction of our bond. Yet, in the deepest recesses of my heart, I knew the truth. She was an unwelcome interloper in the life I was meant to build with you, a mistake that has come to define the fracture in our connection. Every stolen glance, every whispered conversation, every moment of intimacy shared behind closed doors was a profound betrayal, a violation of the sacred trust between us. I constructed an elaborate maze of justifications around my actions, with every lie reinforcing the gap between the person I aspired to be and the reality of my transgressions. Yet, the truth has a way of demanding its due. The silence I once believed would preserve our happiness became a vessel for pain so immense that it now gnaws at the very foundation of all we once held dear. I can no longer ignore the fact that the presence of another with her fleeting promises and hollow excitement has left an indelible mark on our relationship, a mark of betrayal I fear may never fully fade. In the stillness of my thoughts, I find myself revisiting every moment that led to this irreversible point. I recall the quiet thrill of forbidden encounters and secret meetings that, at the time, seemed to offer an escape from my own doubts. Yet, each of these moments has transformed into a painful reminder of the trust one shattered and the bond one betrayed. I once convinced myself that I could live in two worlds simultaneously, that I could maintain a facade of normality while secretly engaging in actions fundamentally opposed to the life we dreamed of together. But as the nights grew longer and the oppressive silence deepened, the truth emerged with piercing clarity. No matter how carefully I tried to compartmentalize my actions, the damage was inevitable. Lies accumulated like dust, obscuring the beauty of our shared memories and tarnishing the promise of our future. Dismantling the fortress of deceit I built feels like tearing down a house constructed on shifting sand. It is an agonizing process that forces me to confront not only my past mistakes but also the very parts of myself that allowed them to occur. The journey toward redemption is fraught with moments of unbearable vulnerability, where the weight of my guilt seems insurmountable. I now stand at the precipice of this arduous path, knowing that the truth I must reveal will not erase the hurt already caused, but it is the only way forward. The silence that once muffled the reality of my actions must now give way to words raw, honest words imbued with the remorse of a heart broken by its own choices. I confess that the person who came between us is the single greatest mistake of my life. Her presence was a diversion, a temporary escape from the responsibilities and commitments I had willingly accepted when I chose you. I allowed her to infiltrate the sanctity of what we had, even though deep in my heart I knew she was never meant to be part of our story. My heart recognized that she did not belong in the life I envisioned, a life built on trust, honesty, and unwavering love. And yet, in a moment of profound weakness, I let myself be seduced by the allure of something that turned out to be empty and hollow. I believed I could manage the duality of my existence, cherishing you while compartmentalizing the fleeting excitement she offered. I was wrong. The illusion of balance was shattered by the truth that no amount of silence or denial could hide. My actions have left scars that may never fully heal. With every beat of my heart, I feel the weight of my failure, a constant, painful reminder that my choices have irrevocably altered the course of our lives. In the quiet solitude of introspection, I've come to realize that the only way to begin healing is to confront this pain head-on. There is no solace in hiding behind a veil of silence or seeking refuge in unspoken regrets. The truth, however painful, must be allowed to breathe and flow freely in the light of day. I have spent too many nights locked in the suffocating embrace of silence, convincing myself that if I ignored the truth, it would somehow vanish. But the past always catches up, and it caught up with me in the form of overwhelming guilt and regret. Now I see that the silence I once trusted to protect me was not a shelter at all, it was a prison, chaining me to a history of mistakes that demanded to be acknowledged. I stand before you not merely to confess my wrongdoing, but to make a solemn promise. I will do everything in my power to rebuild the shattered trust between us. I am deeply, profoundly sorry for the pain I have caused and for the betrayal that has scarred the very foundation of our relationship. I do not expect forgiveness to come easily, nor do I believe that a few sincere words can instantly mend the deep wounds I have inflicted. Yet, with every fiber of my being, I promise to work tirelessly to prove that I am worthy of your trust once more. I commit to living my life with transparency and honesty, to facing the consequences of my actions with the humility they deserve, and to gradually repairing the damage that has been done. I know there will be moments of doubt and setbacks, days when the enormity of my mistakes feels too overwhelming, when the silence of regret threatens to close in once again. But I am ready to face those challenges, one painful step at a time. I promise to be patient and persistent in my efforts to heal, understanding that true redemption cannot be rushed, it must be earned through consistent actions and a steadfast commitment to change. I want nothing more than to rebuild our relationship on a foundation of honesty, integrity, and love, a foundation strong enough to withstand the trials of time and the lingering shadows of our past. Each day, as I reflect on the decisions that brought me to this point, I am filled with deep sorrow for the trust one betrayed and the love I tarnished. I remember a time when our laughter was unburdened by secrets, when our silence was shared in the comfort of mutual understanding rather than as a marker of hidden truths. Those memories, painful as they are to revisit, remind me of what was once possible, a future built on hope, trust, and unwavering commitment. With that vision in my heart, I move forward even as I acknowledge the irreversible damage that has been done. I long for the day when the echoes of our bygone innocence might be rekindled, when our hearts can once again find solace in each other's presence without the heavy weight of unspoken regrets. As I reflect on every whispered secret and every moment of evasion, I see that the silence I once embraced has left me hollowed out. The lingering echo of my unspoken words reverberates through each day, reminding me that every lie, even the smallest one, has chipped away at the beauty of our shared dreams. I now understand that the cost of maintaining the silence was not measured in moments of relief, but in lost opportunities and the pain inflicted upon the one who deserved nothing but truth and fidelity. The presence of another, once disguised as novelty and excitement, now stands as a monument to all I sacrificed. It is a constant reminder that my pursuit of momentary distraction has irreparably damaged the foundation of what we once had. I remember the days when our laughter filled every room and our shared moments were punctuated by genuine joy and connection. Those days now seem so distant, obscured by a haze of regret and the painful clarity of hindsight. I yearn for the simplicity of that earlier time, a time when the future was a canvas of endless possibilities, unblemished by the betrayals that now haunt us. Yet I know that to reclaim even a fraction of that lost time, I must first confront the darkness that has settled over my heart and let the truth, however painful, illuminate the path to healing. Only then can I begin to dismantle the barriers of silence that kept me from truly appreciating what we once shared. Each day, I wake with the heavy knowledge that my actions have not only betrayed your trust but also undermined the very foundation of my own integrity. The silence I once believed would protect me has instead exposed the fragility of my character, forcing me to face the harsh reality of my shortcomings. I now understand that every moment spent in that oppressive quiet was a moment lost, a moment swallowed by a self-imposed isolation that prevented me from living a life defined by honesty and true connection. The pain of this realization has ignited in me a fierce determination to change, to become the person who values truth above all and is worthy of the love you so generously gave me. I stand before you with a heart full of remorse and a soul desperate for redemption. I know that my confession alone cannot erase the memories of betrayal or undo the hurt I've inflicted, but it is the first, necessary, and agonizing step toward a future where trust might blossom again in the light of honesty and sincere remorse. I ask for your patience as I navigate this long and challenging journey to rebuild what has been broken. I seek the opportunity to prove, day by day, that I am committed to changing my ways, to letting go of the silence that once defined me, and to embracing a life where every word I speak is a testament to the love we share. With every breath I take, I will strive to honor the promise of a better tomorrow, a tomorrow where our love is defined not by the mistakes of the past, but by the hope and determination to create a legacy of honesty, trust, and unwavering devotion. Thank you for giving me the space to speak my truth, for listening to the raw confession of a soul ravaged by its own silence. Your willingness to hear me out and to understand the depth of my regret and sincerity is a gift I will cherish as I work to repair the damage I have done. I love you more deeply than words can capture, and it is with this love that I commit myself to the long, winding path of redemption. May this confession mark the beginning of our journey toward healing, a journey defined not by the silence of the past, but by the honest dialogue that will guide us toward a future of renewed trust and enduring love. Amen. If you'd like to show your support, you can give super thanks up to $20.